How many teams should be included in the college football playoff? 12, 14, 16, 20 plus. Keep it at 4? Question mark.
Well, there was a report yesterday that I think emanated from the Big Ten that they would like to expand. We haven't expanded to 12 yet, and they're trying to expand to 14. Hold on for dear life here with what goes on in college athletics, certainly with basketball and football. Here you have the NCAA thinking about going to 96 teams for March Madness. Now you're having college football where we didn't get to 12 yet. I guess there's no official contract. There's been conversation, but now they want to expand to 14 teams. Okay. Well, if your school was the 13th or 14th ranked team last year, you're probably like, I'm all in favor of this. More money for more teams, and that's what this is all about. All about money. For people who shouted from the rooftops about breaking contracts and what about bowl game traditions, nonsense. It's all about money. It's always been about money. Now it's front and center. Paying players, always been there. Now it's front and center. We found out that Caleb Williams was making probably $9 million going to USC. The price of talent is going up. And, these schools want to make more money. Conferences want to make more money. Paula, you have more details in this proposed 14-team playoff.
A little bit, more so that the fact that I think people thought it was a done deal. We're going to a 12-team playoffs basically in perpetuity for the next decade. Well, part of the deal was done. Like the TV side of the deal with ESPN and Fox and others was the done part. The structure and the signing off on it was still pending. They thought there would be a deal done before March, but according to some of these reports, in these rooms, ideas were being thrown out. Like, what else could we do here? A couple other, Notre Dame was involved. Other people were involved. Like, who could be? They threw out ideas because the deal was not signed yet. Bill Hancock, who's running this, the college football playoff, says he has a deadline of March for the deal to be done. But since it wasn't done, they threw out other ideas like 14-team playoffs.
Well, it's not going to stop there. Won't stop at 12, won't stop at 14, because everybody now realizes the amount of money that's at stake. And that's why I kept saying, you're going to leave a 4-team playoff because everybody's going to realize how much money you could make. And that's why they tried to put this in the fast lane. They tried to expedite this so they can move it up a couple of years. And they came close to doing that. They want as much money as possible, and ESPN and Fox are, culpable in this as well. That's what they want. Yes, Paul.
Pete Thamel and Heather Dinich of ESPN have a source off the record who said this is the 14-team model that's being thrown out there. The SEC would have 3 automatic qualifiers. The Big Ten would have 3 automatic qualifiers. The ACC would get 2. The Big 12 would get 2. The group of 5 conferences would get 1 automatic qualifier. 3 at-large spots, and then listen to this. Notre Dame gets a spot if they're in the top 14. They're the only team mentioned by name.
Okay.
That's a possible breakdown of a 14-team.
All right. Sure. I don't put anything out of the realm of possibility with college athletics anymore. I just don't. If you're the NCAA, and this was told to me by a source, because he said, why are you surprised that they may be going to 96 teams? I said, well, how much is too much? It's a glut. We do like that there is a finite amount of teams that are going to make it, not everybody. And I was told the NCAA can govern this. They don't govern college football. College football is really the SEC and the Big Ten. That's different. The NCAA is not governing that. They can make their money. They make their money off March Madness. And if you add however many teams, you go from 68 to 96, that's more money for the NCAA. And he said, as you always say, it's about the money. That's what this is about. Bottom line, about the money. I said, okay, all right. So the NCAA wants to go to 96 so the NCAA can make money, whereas the Big Ten and the SEC, if they go to 14, they're going to make more money for their conferences. And you get sort of that, hey, everybody else gets to play a little bit as well. We might get your school in there if they're good. And, of course, Notre Dame will always, it's almost like they get an automatic berth. Notre Dame should be in the top 14 every single year, you would think. And then the SEC would get 3, and then you have at-large berths. So could the SEC get 5 teams in a 14-team playoff, or the Big Ten? I would love it if you capped it with something like that, where you said the Big Ten got 3, the SEC got 3, the ACC gets 2, because you might get 2 schools out of one out of the ACC that shouldn't be in the top, 14. But if you're going to do it, you're going to do that with the Big 12, okay, but cap it at that. So you do allow more schools in there. It's going to be the same schools. It just is, for the most part. Until NIL, maybe takes a left turn here and somebody starts to, get some kind of sugar daddy who's going to spend a lot of money. And I keep waiting for that. Like a billionaire is going to say, how about I give you $100 million? That's my donation I'm going to give to the university. And I want the football team to build a powerhouse. Like, it's not crazy to think that. I mean, look at Liberty's football team. They didn't have a football team. Then they have a football team. And they've been ranked in the top 25. And it seems like they started the football program yesterday. It can happen overnight. And that's what I wonder. Can you have somebody who is going to pony up money for the sole purpose of having a great football team? Warren Buffett, if he wanted to, big Nebraska fan, Warren Buffett could conceivably say, here's a slush fund. Do with it what you like, but before the end of my life, I want Nebraska to play for a national championship. One of the richest men in the world. If Jeff Bezos wanted to support, I don't know where he went to college.
Princeton.
Well, he's not going to win a national championship.
They could secede from the union and go on their own.
But I think that you're going to have that one day, that you're just going to have people who outspend other schools and the SEC and the Big Ten, and maybe you get an outlier in there, and that could be kind of fun.